first half, it sort of felt like a team that needed to get to halftime and figure something out. What happened to you coming out of halftime? What turned it around?
They did. Our guys did. They saw what was going on. They recognized it quickly. We were able to make an adjustment. We were flat. It was like we, had been off for a little bit longer, and we just didn't have the juice we were looking for early. But when you got a group of pros and experienced guys that care about what you're doing, they came together and they got it done. And, you give them a ton of credit for that. Obviously, we can't allow that to happen, in certain situations, that first half could cost you the game. But we were able to hang close enough and then, put together a run in that second half.
32 from Mike Conley. Were there any signs before the game that he was going to kind of refine his shot and kind of grow?
He's been working his tail off. He understands how vital he is to us, the load that he has to bear. And he's been getting in extra work. He's been taking those shots and coming back and taking more shots. So we got to give him, that's what he does, and he knows how important it is. So he just put in the extra time, and it paid off for us tonight.
Given the Sixers' circumstances today, I mean, you couldn't know what lineup they were going to throw out there. Created some pretty awkward matchups there in the first quarter. How much of an adjustment was that for you guys during the game?
I mean, we had to make an adjustment. You go into a game with a game plan, and then last minute you kind of have to make some changes. In the first half, we wanted to stick with what we decided to do, so we ended up with Jaren on Fultz because we wanted to keep Kyle on Simmons. But in the second half, we had to make the adjustment and just let Jaren match that position. He was the biggest, four out there on the floor for him, and put Kyle on Fultz and just kind of, went to a more conventional matchups. And I think it steadied us. I think before, because it was new and unique or was different than what we had been accustomed to, we were kind of frazzled by it. And then once we kind of got back to our comfort zone, we were able to figure it out.
Coach, you had gone to your veterans quite a bit in overtime. What have you seen out of them in terms of just cohesion in those moments?
You just got a group of guys that are all committed to the same thing. You got a group of guys who are unselfish, who are professional, who are competitors, and just want to win and don't care who takes the shot or who makes the play. You mix that in with intelligence, and you give yourself an opportunity in those situations. They read defense as well. They're moving guys around and putting guys in different spots depending on how they're defending those plays, and they're creating opportunities for us. So, in a game that is so up and down, it's hard always to orchestrate or call a play, but these guys, understand the game of basketball. They put themselves in good positions to be successful.
Did you begin to feel a little snake bit seeing so many shots at the rim, at the basket, not fall, in and outs, tons of little swirl arounds, all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we were getting to our spots and getting the shots that we wanted. When you're in the moment, you're kind of hanging on those shots, and it feel like they all should be going. But if you continue to do that and continue to get to those spots and create those shots, at some point it's going to turn for you. But what I think we did while all that was happening is we didn't stop defending in the second half. We kept competing on the defensive end of the floor. I think they had, a 17-point third quarter. That kind of set the tone and gave us an opportunity to hang in there and, keep creating those opportunities. And, at some point it turned for us.
Not only from a point-scoring standpoint from Mike, but just from an energy standpoint, rolling with him for all the way through the fourth and overtime. And, it's still tough for him coming back at this stage. How vital was that?
I mean, it was huge. And, I kept asking him, if he needed to blow, and he kept shaking me off. Again, the toughness that we talk about, how much it matters to him. He embodies, the things that we talk about, the grit and grind, the toughness, all those things. You see Mike Conley every single day, and that's who he is.
Were you a wrestling fan growing up? And if so, was it cool to kind of see the wrestling festivities today?
Yeah, I was a huge wrestling fan growing up. Sunday afternoons or Sunday mornings, that was when my dad was home, and we would watch the Worldwide Wrestling. Jerry the King, I saw him out there today. My two favorites, I was a little bit older, but I collected the dolls and everything, and The Rock and Stone Cold were my favorites. Yeah.
JB, kind of along those lines, the home court advantage tonight. You talked about it before the game, but what was the energy, the atmosphere like in the arena tonight?
It's this place. You know what I mean? It's the grindhouse, and as long as our guys keep competing and doing the things that they're doing, our crowd is always behind and always pushing, no matter the circumstances. We were down, and our fans didn't sit on their hands. They got up. We started making our run. We started feeding off of their energy, and then their energy starts to weigh on our opponent. So, this has always been a difficult place to play, from a visitor standpoint. And, as long as the fans keep coming out and keep supporting our guys, it makes it difficult on our opponents.
JB, was there any indication on Dylan?
It's just sore right now from what I know. I haven't had a chance to talk to our medical staff yet.
Anything else? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.